Good afternoon, Flosstube. Happy Easter to those that celebrate. It is Easter Monday, the 20th, I think. Just check that. You know me, I never know the date. No, it's 21st, just as well I checked. So it's 21st of April, Easter Monday. It's 5 to 4 in the afternoon. I'm up in the craft room, as you can probably tell. I have been joined by the kits who are exploring because they're not often let in here. I don't know what Bambi is doing. She's discovered that the windowsill goes right along the wall behind the bookshelf there. And Shadow is taking way too much interest in the geraniums that I potted up the other day. So we'll see how they go. I may have to throw them out, but anyway, we'll see. So anyway, welcome. It's lovely to be back. I'm a day late, I know. Unfortunately, I was rather tired yesterday and ended up going back to bed for a couple of hours and didn't come back downstairs until after 8 o'clock in the evening. And by the time I'd fed the kits, fed myself, it was too late to start thinking about doing a Flosstube. So I'm here now to make the most of it. Sorry, I'm just keeping an eye on Shadow because if she eats my plant, I will kill her. Well, maybe not kill her, but I'll swing for her. Little bit of an update on what's been going on with me. As you know, I lost my two aunts last month. And the funerals were last Saturday. So I travelled up on the Friday, and we had the funerals on the Saturday, and I came back down on the Sunday. Nightmare coming back, absolute nightmare. I mean, I know the trains in this country are getting worse and worse, but that was just ridiculous. No direct trains to the south from Glasgow at all. Just a complete joke. Anyhow, I got home. The funerals were hard, back to back. But it did give me time to catch up with my cousins, reconnect with them. I met my cousin Peter, who I've not seen since I was a little girl. He's so like my Uncle John. I couldn't believe it. He is so like him. My Uncle John was my grandmother's brother. So it's Peter's the only one left from the generation of my aunts and my dad. And then it's us. It's me and Graham and I suppose Peter's children and his sister's children. But like I say, it was good to connect. Graham and I are in close contact. It was lovely to meet his partner Zoe. After all this time, she is lovely, and we got on our house on fire. And I think what I brought out of that weekend was I've got a feeling of having some family again. Which is it's nice for someone who has counted themselves as having no family at all for the last 20 years. It's nice to know that I do have that there, and it's so nice to be in much closer contact with them. Graham and I have always kept in touch after a fashion, but I think we're both very aware now that we are the next generation, and we need to be looking after the generation that comes after. So anyway, that was that. Bambi, you can step away from the plant, thank you very much. So what am I going to show you? I have been, I don't know whether to start with. Oh, let's start with 5 and 5. Let's go with 5 and 5 the way we always do. So, alrighty. This could, it's all here, but it's all sort of piled up here. So hang on a sec. Alrighty, so we've got that and we've got that. Okay, so that's 5 and 5. So I'm going to write that and I'll put that back down there. Okay, you can tell I'm making this up as I go along. Alright, so 5 and 5, you've already seen progress on the spring sampler and also on the bookmark. So what I've been working on the last 2 weeks has been the winter sampler. I did a little bit of stitching on the way up on the train a week on Friday, where I was sitting. There was some crocheters got on the train at Skipton, and they pulled out their crochet, and I thought, oh, they're crocheting, I'll pull out my stitching. So I did a little bit. So this is where we are at the moment. I'll just pull that forward a little bit for you. So the squirrels sat on their branch of what I finished when I was up at the Scottish retreat in March. And as you can see, just let me fold that over. There. I started the tree at the side of the squirrels. There's one either side. So I started doing the snow, I suppose, on the branches on the way up on the train, and finished that when I got back down, and then started doing the green in the centre. So obviously I will pick that back up next month when this one comes out again in 5 and 5, and we'll see how we go with it. But I'm really pleased with how it's coming along. So that's that one. So that goes in there. Come on. There we go. I'll put that over there. I need to clean off this table. Well, they're both on my stitching chair here. Looking at my wool, you can step away from the wool as well. Thank you very much, Bambi. So, next one, I'm going to take the bookmark out, the bookshelf out, and I'm going to leave it there. I'll put that on there. Just stay there, it won't fall over. So, I've been working on this for this past week. Yesterday was actually the day to finish working on it. As I say, I kind of had to go back to bed for a couple of hours, so I didn't finish the bit I was working on, but this is where I am with this, and I am loving it. I did that basket in the centre over 2 days. Now the blank bit at the bottom of the basket or the bowl or whatever it is, I think is in satin stitch. I need to have a better look at the chart. In fact, I'll do that now while we're talking about it. Okay, so pattern keeper, where are we? Here you. Just making that a bit bigger. Yes, I think it probably is satin stitch. Let me just bring that in a little bit. So that is Spring Awakening, which is the one I'm showing you at the moment. I really am absolutely loving this. And it's by just go back on there again. It's by Stitches Through the Years. And if I just pop down here to the bottom, there we go. And as if by magic, in its own sweet time, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so there is satin stitch, and yeah, it is done in that little bit at the bottom of that bowl or basket, and there are petite stitches for the wording as well. Shadow, I mean Bambi, what do you think you're doing? Oh, honestly. So yeah, I'll get to the satin stitches when I get to them. I'm not the world's keenest on satin stitches, but we'll get there. So at the moment, let me go back in here and I will tell you where we are. I have done 1295 stitches out of 10,116 and I'm at 12.8%. That's pretty good going for me. So all I've got to do now is there's another bird, and I'll put this down again. So they all almost mirror each other. Where there's the heart on this side, we've actually got like two sort of diamondy squares on this side, but this flower here mirrors that, and there's a bird goes in there, and then there is another little motif just in here. So hopefully I will, once I'm finished filming, I'll go back downstairs before I start thinking about dinner and finish off what I need to do on this, and then I can move on to my last 5 and 5 for the month, which is Yoda's Hill, and I will show you that in a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to flick back because I didn't show you Winter Sampler, which was very remiss of me. Honestly, those two. Okay, back you go. Where are we? There it is. There we go, Winter Sampler, and you can see the tree that I started work on. There we go. Just beautiful design. Absolutely adore it. And the best thing is when I finish the trees, I get to do the boxes. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so last one in 5 of 5, and my Roll the Dice project this month is Yoda's Hill, which is this one here by Diane Gradner. A real labour of love, this one. Oh. What are they playing with now? What are you doing? Oi, that's my thread. Shadow. Shadow. Thank you. I don't know where they got that from. Okay, sorry, they're being cats, aren't they? So this is where we are on Yoda's Hill. I'm working on this tree here. hoping, because I'll be working on this now until the end of the month, so hopefully I will get that tree finished, and then I can move on to, I think there's 3 little girls sat on a sled to the side of that, so hopefully I will get that done as well. Still playing with that skein of thread. Oi! So there we go. Alright, so speaking of roll the dice, the next one is due to be drawn on the 1st of May, which is off you go, calendar. There we go. So today is the 21st. So next roll the dice is rolled on 1st of May, which is a week on Thursday. I will remind you about it so that I remind myself. Okay. Alrighty. I do really want to try and make some progress on this, because the last couple of times it's been out and roll the dice, it's been kind of half-hearted progress, I suppose. Purely because I still have that thing about it, you know, being started for my mum. And I think I've been left alone by the kids. I'll just push the door shut. Right then, what I thought else I would talk about is small bit of haul. It's not really haul, it was more of a gift. While I was up in Glasgow last weekend, I managed to catch up with my lovely friend Audrey, Auntie Oddbod, who I met through the Knit Natter that she co-ran in Glasgow, on the south side of Glasgow. And after I'd been made redundant from my job at the start of the recession, I needed to find a reason to get out of the house. So I started volunteering with the PDSA, which is, those of you in the UK will know, it's the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals. It's basically for domestic animals, and it's to help people who are retired or who are out of work and have pets and can't afford to take them to the vet if they need treatment, and that's what the PDSA is for, to help you still look after your pets. Loved my time with PDSA, and while I was there, I was walking Auntie Oddbod up to the co-op for her to get her taxi home, and they just closed up the shop and done the banking and stuff, and I was like, oh, let's have a look in the window and see if they're still around, and Nairi was there, who is the shop manager, and she's lovely, and she was there. So of course I tapped on the window, and she was like, oh my god, oh my god. And she threw the door open and a big hug, and it was lovely to see. I've not seen her for a few years. And she's just, do you know what? I was in a volunteer position, and she's one of the best bosses I have ever had in my life. She really was. She is an absolute gem. She put me on a book buying ban, because I was always buying books, and I would go in and do my shift on a Tuesday and go away with some books, and then on a Thursday I'd have more, and she was like, no, you can't possibly have read all those books that you bought on Tuesday, so you can't have these. Can I just have this one? she was brilliant. She's such a lovely, lovely person, and she's a cat person. So what can I say? So that was a little added extra. But while we went, Auntie Oddbod and I went out for tea up in Shawlands, and she went into this little gift bag that she was carrying, and she said, "I've got something for you," and this is what was in it. It's a Bossy Threads kit, and it's okay. And he's a true Scotsman, shall we say? I love it. I absolutely love it. Sorry, that is Bambi. Could you leave the room, please? Come on, there you go. Come on, off you pop. Go. Thank you. Right. One of the things I was going to show you is disappeared, so I'll have to find. Oh, I can see it. It's all right. So yes, this is okay. This is the way that Bossy Threads do their kits now, in a cardboard box, very user friendly, no plastic, and you get your usual. There's actually a picture of the pictures. You can see a little bit better now. I just love it. And there are some gold beads on the neck and on the arms of the lady's dress, and there's a little pack of gold beads there. And of course you get your needles and your fabric. It's on 14 count Ada, which I will probably swap out, as you know, I'm not really the biggest fan of Ada. Let's got the needles, and that's the palette, which is nice and bright. It's lovely. So I will put that into the basket of kits to be worked, and I would like to think that one of these times when I go back up to Scotland for a visit, I will be able to take that up framed and give it to Auntie Oddbod for her to hang in the house. Right, what else was I going to show you? Oh yes, I was watching Stuart this morning. Sorry, everything is on the floor. In fact, we'll park Stuart for a minute. What are you playing at? Bambi? Yeah. So, the night before I went up to Glasgow last week, I was at the WI. I'm now a fully paid up member. I'm just waiting for my membership number to come. I'm all excited. And we were having a crafting night. And basically what they've done, the committee have arranged with a craft shop in Saltaire, where the WI is based. It's called the Craft House. They also have a branch in Bingley, just up the road from Saltaire. And what they're going to do is give us I think it's the window that faces onto the street, and they've asked us to do something that means something to us, whether it be religious or, you know, family or heritage. So I have started. Hello. And I know it doesn't look like much at the moment, but I had this sparkly fabric in my little stitchy pouch, and I knew we were going to be doing something crafty, so I took my stitching along with me. And this, as I say, was in the pouch where I keep my scissors and stuff. And basically what it is going to be, it's going to be a thistle. And these are the threads that I picked up there. And then up here, I'm going to have a Scottish saltire. And perhaps a bit of a dotted line to show a road, and it's going to be my representation of the long road home to Scotland for this little Scottish thistle down here in West Yorkshire. So I will pick it up at some point. I have no idea when it's to be ready for. I will find that out when I go to the next meeting next month, I hope. But yeah, so that's been started. So I'll put that up there. I'm sorry, my bra straps are misbehaving themselves today. Sort those out. Have a slug of tea. There we go. Right, so moving swiftly along. As I was saying, I was watching some Flosstube this morning and was watching Stuart's latest, which I think he posted up yesterday. And he was showing some stuff that he had in one of his many project bags. And he was showing some Theresa Wentzler projects, and I had been saying to Di a while back, I've got absolutely loads of Teresa Wentzler stuff, and I thought I would do a little show what I've got and what I've started. She said, tongue firmly in cheek. I'd let you see what I've got, because Di had given me the carousel. I think it was last year or the year before, and we were talking earlier on today, and she said, I've got the horses if you want, and I was like, I think I've got them, and I've checked and I have, so I'll show you them. But let's have a look and I'll show you. So the main one I've been working on hasn't been touched for a while, because of having other stuff in 5 and 5, but it's the Castle Sampler. Which I absolutely love. This was given to me by an old friend of mine. Not that she's old, I'm the old one. We worked together many years ago. And I was talking about stuff that I like to do, and she said, oh, I've got this sampler, and she gave it to me, and I was like, oh, I've got to do that. So I have started it. Took me a while to get around to it. So this is where I've got to on the Castle Sampler. So I've done 2 sides of the inner border. I love her Celtic borders, they're just beautiful. I've done the lettering across the top, and I filled in this one box here, and I've got to mirror that in this box here, and then I will do mirroring what's on the bottom of these boxes on the top as well. And then I'm going to start coming down the sides, do the other 2 sides of the inner border as well. It's been put aside for a while because I obviously I'm doing the winter sampler and also spring sampler and spring awakenings, and they've kind of taken over a little bit, if you like, from what I was doing last year. Go, throw that back in there. Now I do have 2 more that are currently, hold that thought. should have bought these out while I was thinking about it earlier, and I just didn't. That's not it. No, it's not. That is. There we go. That's one of the ones I was looking for. Right, sorted. Just close this door open again. So, right, you can tell how old this is by the fading. This is The Lady of Shalott, which is based on the poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson. It's one of my favourite poems. And if you've ever watched the 1980s version of Anne of Green Gables, when she's on the, I think they call it a dory, and it starts to sink, she's lying back with flowers strewn around her, lying back peacefully with her arms crossed, reciting The Lady of Shalott. And also, more trivia, the film that was based on the Agatha Christie book, the film was called The Mirror Cracked from Side to Side. That's also a line from The Lady of Shalott. So, whoops, oh, that's the back. Sorry. So this is where I've got to on that. It's very confetti heavy, especially in this vase of flowers, which is why there's lots of blank bits. And when I do pick it up, I do a couple of bits of them, and then I start working on the border at the side. It's, I don't know. It will get finished eventually at some point, but as I say, it is a real labour of love. Anyone who loves Teresa Wentzler designs will know just how difficult they are to work with the blends, the half stitches, the quarter stitches, the sheer amount of threads, and the beading as well. There's quite a bit of beading in that. When I was chatting to Di early and we were talking about the blending, one of the things that I always do with the Theresa Wentzler before I even start is I make up all the blends and put them into a little bobbin box, so that I've already got them there. That's one of my bobbin boxes. It's not a Theresa Wentzler one, but you know, something like that with all the blends there. And then you've got them done. If I finish a particular blend, I immediately wind some more so that I'm not having to stop and doing it when I'm actually stitching. Another celebrity. The other one, which there it is. I can't show you the picture on this because it's actually the chart, and I don't have a picture of the finished one, but this is one of Teresa's freebies, which is no longer available because she took down all of her dragons. But this is Tempest in a teacup, and it's basically a little dragonlet having a bit of a temper sitting in a teacup. And it's adorable. Again, with the amount of confetti stitching in this, it doesn't get nearly as much love. What I maybe should do is have a month in the summer when all I work on is Teresa Wentzler. That might be something that I could do. Might be a way of trying to get some stuff, some work done on them. Right, so we've taken care of those. So I'm just going to pop that up there. So these are the Teresa Wentzler charts that I have. So I'll take this out of here. See it. So this is the carousel that I was speaking about earlier, that that Di had given me last year or the year before. I think it might have been the year before actually. It's a lovely design, it really is. It's so pretty. And it's quite an old one because it's a hand-drawn chart. Lovely. There, I can put them back in. I also have the Storyteller. I have the Fantasy Triptych. I have the Castle, which Stuart was talking about this morning, and I think this is the one that everyone knows, with the beautiful dragon, and it's only got part of its wing, but someone has charted the rest of the wing. I just love that. Teresa Wentzler's dragons are what I've always imagined dragons to be. And then we have Pegasus. There's an awful lot of green in that, isn't there? And let's see if I can pull this out. There we go. Oh gosh, it's a tight fit. And the Camelot sampler. Which is done almost like a banner. And again, it's got those gorgeous Celtic knot borders on it. And I think this is a computer generated one. Rather big. So that's those. And bear with, and I'll just rescue what little miss had knocked over. Move my cup so that I don't knock it down. Oh, gosh, it's heavy. I have loads of these types of folders with all of my stitching in. So let's see. So that's a loopy loom. So there we go. Oops. Sorry. So we have, which one's this? Oh, it's winter. So we have the winter carousel horse. It's just beautiful, isn't it? And we have spring. I love spring. And I think these are all hand drawn. Looking at the price on them, they're $3.95. So they are pretty old. This is the summer. Beautiful border with all those flowers. Look at that tail. And last but not least, we have fall, or autumn as we call it here. So those are all the Teresa Wentzlers. I do have one more, and that is The Princess and the Dragon, which is in the book that came out, oh God, probably in the 90s. Maybe not that long ago. I did have a look for it. Hang on a sec. Sorry, I'm bouncing about all day, all over the place today. What's this one? Not that one. That one. Yeah, that's it. Found it. There she is. There we go. Princess and the Dragon. And where there's a dragon, there's usually a castle. And strangely enough, there are no Celtic knots or Celtic borders in this, but there is a fair bit of beading in it. But yeah, it's beautiful. I love this one. It's not that big either. Let's see. Okay, 28 count, 10.5 by 11.75. Yeah, there are some Mill Hill glass seed beads. I'm just going to have a look and see how many colours there are. This will be interesting. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 27. So there's 27 colours, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1, 2, 23 blends, and then your beads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different beads as well. So you never know, I may get around to this one of these days. And I think that's your lot for today. I don't think I've got anything else to tell you. I've not got any plan. Oh, I just want to show you this. I was talking about getting a scarf from a friend who had been knitting them for Alzheimer's to raise money, and I'd forgotten to get it out last time, so this is it here. Isn't that beautiful? And look at this, the border, this feather and fan border all the way round. I love the way the colours just fall. It's this self-striping yarn, and it's just beautiful. She is the most stunning knitter, is Chris. And when I saw it, when she put a post up about it, and I saw this one, I thought that looks really pretty, my colours, and it's even more beautiful in real life, and it's so soft, it's gorgeous. A roll on the autumn. In fact, I might have to wear it to work this week if this weather continues. It's only 10 degrees today. Right, is there anything else I can tell you? Bambi, if you get anything you want to add? No, tail's going, but no, she's got nothing to add. Actually, I've got some serging that I need to do, so I might do that while I'm up here. I've got the sewing machine up and running, so I could do that while I'm up here, because the fabric that I'm doing Spring Awakenings has been fraying quite a bit, so I need to finish it off. But I think that's all she wrote today. We're at 46 minutes, so almost 50 minutes. I could waffle on a little bit, couldn't I? Can I get anything else I can show you? Don't know. Bambi? Inspiration? What are you watching? No. We have, I can see the rain coming down. We have got an old quarry the other side of the lane, the other side of the houses, on the other side of the lane. And I think I've mentioned this before, someone is renting some land and they've got sheep and goats up there. And you can quite often see them wandering about in the trees. And this is the time of year when there are little ones about just now. And when the little kids and the little lambs are out, it's adorable. I love listening to them. Today is not a day to be out there listening to them chatting to each other, I don't suppose. Oh, I know. Now, I think it was Gina had mentioned that they would quite like to see what is in my smalls display. So, while I'm up here, why don't I sort that out for you? I'll just put that out of the way and I'll bring this over. This will fill up 10 minutes. Now then, so this is it here. Oh dear. So it's a little collection of exchange pieces in various groups over the last, I don't know, 30 years. I've got a whole load of Biscornu in here. Some little pieces that have been made. I think I've maybe got a couple of pieces in there that I've done myself, and the rest have been done by other people. So where will I start? I'll start with the needle row, shall I? So this one was stitched by my lovely friend Jo. I love this one. And her daughter Darcy decided which one she was going to do. It's so pretty. And then there's this one here. Actually, if I hold it like that, you can see it a bit better. Now I think this is a Victoria's needle design. I think. Oops, and I've just dropped one on the floor. Oops. There we go. I think that's got wording on it, but I'm not quite sure what it says. It's upside down. No, it's not. It's not wording. Oh, it says friends. Very pretty. There is a needle book. Another needle book. Made by my lovely friend Val. This was a Valentine's exchange. 2004. By my lovely pal Karen, who I think at the moment is in Lanzarote, the spiritual home. And she did this. I've actually got the other one over there. It's hanging on the wall. And I was down visiting her, and this was in a basket on the fireplace. And I said, "Oh, what's that? That's pretty." And she said, "Ah, well, actually, this was your Valentine's exchange." And I went, "But you gave me one." She went, "Yeah, but this was the original one." And she didn't like how she'd finished it, so she decided to make me something else. And I love this. So she gave me this, and I've got the other one as well. So, and this was made by me. Lizzie Kate design, Little Cups of Friendship. And I stitched this on a coach journey in Europe, going between Prague, Vienna and Budapest. And when I was sitting on the coach, I was stitching away while we were travelling through the countryside. I made it into a little pillow. Nice fabric on the back. So that's the bottom row. And then the biscornu. This was made by Val. Christmas biscornu. So lovely. I was trying to explain to someone how to make biscornu a couple of weeks ago. I should take some in, and I think it was someone at work. I should take these in and let them see. This is another one. I think Val did this one as well. It's got a little bee charm on it. And the back. And then there's this one, which I made. My stuffing isn't quite as good as Val's, but this was made group that I used to run on Yahoo groups. We used to go down to Harrogate every November for the stitching show there, and this was Val had designed this for us. My buttons are a little bit big, but that was 2011. And it's got lots of beads on it as well. So that was mine. And I'd forgotten to take mine with me, typically. So Val had done an extra. This was my very first attempt at a biscornu. I think that was a freebie design. This is the Harrogate 2011, stitched by Val. You can see all those lovely beads. And then there's this one, which was an autumn exchange, and I think it was Martina who made this one, from Germany. It's a very pretty design, and she's just backed the back with some autumn fabric. And then there's this one as well. I think this was made, I think it was for my birthday. It's very me. It's got tea and cats and cross stitch. I've always got a cup of tea in my hand and a needle in the other. And I'll just, oh, my tea's getting cold. I just have to have a kettle here, so I'll warm it up. So this was an exchange we did, Yorkshire Stitches and the pub meet every month. This was from about 2 years ago. Ali did that one. Let's see, there's a little counting pins at the back there, and this is the design on the front. My friend Val again, who made the counting pins. I had taught a lady called Becky, who lived just up the road from me, and it was while I was off work, after being made redundant, and I advertised on Gumtree to see if anybody wanted to learn to cross stitch, and these two ladies came to me, which one was Becky, and she was moving back down to the south of England with her husband. He was moving with his job, and she made this for me as a going away present. A little handbag for her. It's so sweet. Just put that back in there. Get it. There we go. There's this one here. Now this one used to have a pin in it. I don't know what's happened to it. This one here was a little lavender sachet that I made. It was one of my 5 and 5 when we started doing 5 and 5. I've got quite a few of these little kits with the lavender sachets. This was the first one that I did, a little honeysuckle. I don't want to get too close to it because I'm actually allergic to lavender. Got everything up here. There we go. Now we'll warm it up a little bit. I'll be fascinated. And then I've got these little things here, which Chris, she of the beautiful scarf, made these for me for Christmas. First Christmas I was down here. So, oops, it's getting. So there's a little scissor holder that you can hang around your neck. Lovely fabric. There's a little needle book. And a little pinwheel. her finishing is lovely. So there you go. So that is what is in my little collection of smalls. And we're now at just over an hour, so I shall pop that down there. And quick slurp of tea. Nicely warmed up. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time, which will be so today's the 21st, so I should have been doing it yesterday. It's the 20th, so it will be the 4th of May, and the 5th is going to be another bank holiday. Yay! So in 2 weeks' time I'll have the Monday off again. I've been completely discombobulated this weekend because I kept thinking that Saturday was Sunday because of having Friday off. Because normally if I have a Friday off, I'll be travelling somewhere, like going through to Wales, or the last couple of times I've been going up to Scotland. I don't. My next travel plans will be end of May when I'm going through for the Yorkshire, not the Yorkshire, the Cheshire Stitches day retreat. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing all the girls there, and getting lots of stitching done. I'm probably drinking a lot of tea, or coffee, or both. Maybe even some wine. We'll see. So enjoy the rest of your Easter weekend, what's left of it today. I hope you're getting lots of stitching done. And I shall see you all in 2 weeks, minus one day. Oh, and happy birthday, Amy Harpy Stitcher. She's just turned 50. I think I'm safe to say that because she did Flosstube yesterday and she told everybody, so I'm safe to say that, I think. If I'm not, let me know, Amy. So yeah, I'm gonna go back downstairs, get on with some more stitching, and I will see you all in 2 weeks. So happy stitching, and thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.